on the list.
So just see.
And if it was my fault, if I missed it, I'll apologize. So
Was at his banquet.
yeah, so now if it's not, you know, like I was telling him.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
But with the officers, I know I've got a couple phone calls and complaints that, you know, I guess there were disputes between neighbors, you know, this one shoveled my snow on my sidewalk, this one pushed the snow in the road, this one pushed the, you know, I dug a parking space out and then my neighbor came and parked. And that they called and the police haven't responded. Well, I'm going to say the officers didn't pick and choose what calls they took. They were taking emergency calls, okay? The police were out helping with the snow removal. They were directing traffic, they were blocking streets because the borough had heavy equipment come in and remove good portions of the snow out of the borough. So they were directing traffic. Now, if a call came in because, you know, one neighbor threw some snow on another neighbor's sidewalk, they did not respond right away. And I'm not going to discipline my officers over that because they were, what I feel, were doing something more important by helping get the snow out of the borough and correcting the problem. So I just wanted the public to know that if they called and officers did not respond, it was because I have 2 officers on per shift, and I mean, they can't be on every street in the borough, but they were out and they were helping the borough clean up. Other phone calls that I was getting were about people, how they were getting rid of their snow off their sidewalks, off their porches, off their, you know, the roads, shoveling car spaces out. What the borough is asking is that and when we get snow like that, you only shovel a path. You don't have to clean your whole sidewalk because there's just nowhere to put the snow. And it is illegal to throw your snow out in the middle of the road. You cannot take the snow from the sidewalk and throw it out in the middle of the street so that when the plow comes down, they get it. It's just not allowed. So I'm asking the people, hopefully we don't get another snowstorm like this year, but in years to come, if we do, if you're going to throw your snow out in the street, you're going to get a citation. So I just want the public to be aware of that. Also, please, when you're shoveling your snow, do not, if you have an abandoned home next to you, do not put the snow on the abandoned property's porch. If there's an emergency, that emergency personnel need to get into that property. There's no possible way they're going to get in. They're shoveling, they put snow on front porches, and it's covering all the way up to the porch roof. They can't get in the doors. So I'm asking the public to please, refrain from putting snow on abandoned properties next to you or in the vicinity of where you live. Again, if someone's caught doing that, there is going to be citations issued for that also.
This time I'd like to note, under old business, we do have 2 vacancies, one for the sewer authority, one for the municipal water authority. So if there's any interested residents, if they would please submit a letter of intention to serve on these authorities, we'd appreciate it. Or if anybody wants to come forward and recommend anybody. All right, we'll move on to garbage guidelines. I know there's been questions in the past about, people have brought up bills in front of us that said they haul it to the landfill themselves, they have a private hauler. We've been a little vague in our processes on that, so we're going to put it in writing. All right, currently, the ordinance reads, all refuse accumulated in the borough shall be collected, conveyed, and disposed of by the borough, and the cost of such service shall be paid as provided in the schedule of fees set forth in Section 105 hereof by the person producing the refuse or responsible for the existence or disposal thereof, or for whom such refuse is removed. So, it states in the ordinance, we have to pick up your garbage. All right? We've, in the past, allowed residents, they've had private haulers haul it themselves. The guidelines now will be, from this day forward, all borough residents are required to adhere to the borough's garbage refuse collection ordinance. If a resident/landlord chooses to secure a private contractor for hauling purposes, they will need to supply weekly paid receipts to the borough of each single property as proof of weekly pickup by their contractor. So if they're having a contractor haul it, or we want weekly receipts for each individual property. If a resident landlord chooses to haul their own, They will need to supply a weekly paid receipt of each single property to the borough as proof of weekly drop-off at an approved facility, all right? 4, resident landlord cannot secure a dumpster as a means to collect several residents, tenants' garbage for more than 1 week, and the proper disposal receipt must be supplied to the borough weekly. So if a landlord decides he's gonna bring a dumpster in, it's not gonna sit there for a month collecting garbage, it's gonna be emptied weekly. They must provide receipts. Number 5, failure to supply the proper weekly receipts will result in the resident landlord being billed for each individual property in accordance with the borough's current garbage refuge quarterly fee. In addition to the quarterly fee, the resident landlord may be subject to other violations in accordance with borough code, that being health, fire, etc. And potential condemnation of the resident landlord property is possible if the property is determined unfit for human habitation due to improper storage, disposal of garbage and refuse. So that is our guidelines for current garbage. All right?
I would like the borough to look into, maybe looking into, let's remove the traffic meters in town
Oh, from the sidewalk?
from the sidewalks.
We
Look into that.
We can look into that.
Because, first of all, like now with the snowfall, I think it would have been easier to clean maybe if you didn't have the meters there. You know, you could have some kind of snow blower or something there
That's
to,
a potential idea.
you know what I mean? We don't use the meters, we could probably get some.
People do put money in them still.
But in the event that we ever went back to meter system, you know, there's more modern technology that we could do. And I think it would dress up the uptown of the town. I know that like the side streets, half the meters are gone because we never use the meters for a couple of years already. And now that all the meters are basically not in use, I would think, you know, let's try to remove them, cap them off,
I like your idea, Charlie.
okay? And I'm here as only as an individual citizen,
I like the idea,
okay?
we'll address that.
And that won't cost much money. Okay, thank you.